Here are some parts you might want to replace on your Falcon 3, or you might want to get to keep on hand. When people place parts orders with me, they don't always know what else to get or what they should get, so that's what this is for. And this is not a replacement for a full inspection. It's just because you should still do that. The manual says every year. You can do it every 100 hours, but after you put a lot of time on the wing, or if you have a major crash, definitely a full inspection is in order. Take the sail off and check everything. But this is stuff that you can just kind of check yourself pretty easily. First thing, any of the bags, if you get a hole worn into any part of any of the bags, or the neoprene covers, tip bags, anything, you should replace it or repair it, because that's what it's for. Once something wears through that spot in the bag, then it's going to start wearing through your sail, and you don't want a hole in your sail. That's the worst thing. So the obvious thing, check your down tubes for straightness. You can get an extra down tube just to keep on hand. Hang loops, once they start looking really yellow, then they're pretty old. You should replace them. If there's fraying down here in the loop from the carabiner, you should think about replacing it. Sidewires, they should be replaced on the same schedule. They say like a year for everything, but a year, 100 hours. Just feel it. You can tell if there's anything poking you, it should be replaced. This sheathing will get really yellow with age. You can tell, or if it starts kind of tearing up, and you can tell it's pretty old, should be replaced. The other wires, see how this one's kind of torn up? That'll happen just the way it goes in the down tube slot. The front and rear wires, they're kind of good for almost indefinitely, but eventually you should change them. Either maybe once they start looking like this or a little worse, or you see any kinks in any of the wires, then it would be definitely in order to replace them. You can get some of these extra nuts. These are everywhere on the glider. You can reuse these, but not too many times. It's not set how many times, but they do wear out eventually, and they don't go on with the same amount of torque. These large safety rings, people lose these all the time on the down tube, and you can get an extra speed nut too if you want. And then there's all these small safety rings all over the glider. It'd be good to have a few extra of those too for when you do maintenance, and you'll lose those. These bungees holding the washout tube eventually go bad, and they're not holding it in with any amount of tension, so the washout tubes can just fall out. So I usually use a couple feet or a little over 2 feet for each washout tube when I reinstall it, so just keep that in mind. These batten ropes, this is a thicker one, this is the thinner one. It's two different, but it's not really critical whether you use the thick or thin, but that's what they use. And then of course the batten tips, you want to have some extra ones of those in case they fail or you lose the tip part of the tip. Bridle lines, generally you don't need to replace. It's like all the top wires are generally good forever, but if you see some rust on it, because these get wrapped up in a wet sail burrito, so they can get some rust on them pretty easy like that. So you could replace them. And it's the same type of rope. This was used on the #1 batten. It's the same thickness. This will start fraying right in here at the tang usually, and so then you're stuck trying to fish this thing out from the keel pocket if you don't have the rope to hold on to. The nose batten, which you need to check on the chart to make sure it's good, because you can't check it like the other battens. Just check it against the left and right side for symmetry, because the nose batten can get smashed if you turtle your glider and put weight on it, or during transport sometimes, and it can be really hard to get the curve just right in it near the tip again. And that's about it. That's all the main stuff you can look at pretty easily for a Falcon 3.